Welcome to AmericanCivilDebate.com. My name is Foshin. I've got Matt Richardson here today. Thank you, Matt, for being the producer and making this happen for us.
Yeah, not a problem.
We're going live again. We went live yesterday. We did erase it because we weren't professional enough to stay up to where we were supposed to be. So today we're going to stay on point and on topic. And today we want to talk about feeling or facts versus feelings. I think both sides actually feed us feelings because both sides give a little bit of facts, but they don't give the full facts. And if you read the full facts, it's always something down the line, party lines, and there's nobody, and everybody feels like, one side's bombarding, the other side's bombarding, and there's nothing for us. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Real quick, can you turn the TV on for me?
I certainly can. Give me 1 second, please. Forgive me. But no, I think with everything going on, I think everybody's more about feelings and they're not about, you know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
And I think that that needs to change. I think that people need to start seeking out the truth. And that's for both sides, because both sides have destroyed this country. And with that being said, Matt?
So, how I feel about it is they're presenting either their feelings or opinions as facts versus, what's actually going on. They want to believe what's going on in their own head versus what's actually going on.
But do you think both sides are guilty of that?
Oh, yeah, without a doubt.
I do too. I think that's the one thing, and they're driving us apart. Why are they driving us apart? That's the biggest question that anybody should ask. What is the benefits of them guiding us or driving us apart like that?
Well, you got to think of it like sports. You know what I mean? They're teams, and it's a rivalry. It's always going to be a rivalry. Everyone doesn't look at it as it's the benefit for the greater good. It's I'm better than them, and I know it. It's one of those things.
I mean, we could all go on tangents and stuff like that. I've done it on Facebook. I'm sure you have once or twice. But the thing is, I've actually had some really good conversations with Democratic and liberal people. And actually, we're not all so far off on topics on a lot of things. I mean, yeah, there's some extremes out there that and that's both sides, though. And I think that's what people don't realize is both sides are bombarding you with a bunch of crap. And like I said, that the truth is always in the center. And if people would actually take the time and look for the truth sometimes, you'll find it. And you're going to see either, it doesn't matter which side you're on, you're going to see both sides have lied to you. And they have lied to you a lot, all for money and power and corrupting our political system. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
No, you're good. I'm just trying to read and find a good spot to insert this.
Well, okay, going back, though, it's like, people, we got to stop fighting with each other. We got to start talking to each other like rational people. And I think once you do start doing that, and sometimes you're going to have to bite your tongue or bite your lip or both. But I think once you sit there and you can have a conversation with somebody, because there's a lot of animosity on both sides towards each other. All the Hillary Clinton people hated the Trump people. Now the Trump people hate the Biden people. You know what I mean? It's like an ongoing cycle. And all they're doing is keeping us fighting. And why are they doing that? That should be the biggest question of all. What are they gaining from keeping us fighting? Is that stealing our power, stealing our money, and indebting us for the rest of our lives? I mean, people, we got to start waking up and start thinking about that. What do you think, Matt? Okay, you're really quiet over there. Quit yapping on the computer and start talking.
Brain's rolling right now.
Oh, your brains are rolling. I like that a lot. How old are you? You're 22, right?
23. Yeah.
23, okay.
Close enough.
I mean, the way you look at it, like we talked yesterday, and we're going to touch up on that in a little bit, in about 7 minutes. But people that are in your age bracket, how do they look at things sometimes? I mean, I'm sure you know some Republicans, and I'm sure you know a lot of liberals too.
Yeah.
So how do they feel about certain things? I mean, is it more of feelings or facts? Honestly, when you're sitting there looking at that,
more in my age range, it's more feeling and it's more extreme. It's more to the extreme level versus where someone's just like, oh, I don't like the guy. It's one of those things where like, oh, I can't stand that guy. He's horrible. Everything about him is horrible, and nobody ever does any research. And I'm saying that on both sides.
But I mean, I guess here's my thing. It's like I'm 49. Like, if you went to a bar and you got into a bar fight, you beat each other up and then you buy each other a beer. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Nowadays, people want to knife you or shoot you or run out to their car and get their AK and just shoot everybody. And it's like, what is wrong with you people? You know what I mean? I mean, and a lot of it's over something stupid. You know what I mean? It really is. It's like.
It's pridefulness.
It's pridefulness. Now, in your age bracket, again, like facts versus opinion. When you sit there, where do you go to get a lot of your facts at?
I research multiple websites to get facts just to see which ones correlate with each other and which ones don't. I kind of do if I can look at one fact and 5 different websites say the same thing, then I'm going to go with that fact and say that's factual.
But isn't that like watching the news? Like if you watch Fox News and Newsmax, and then you go to CNN and MSNBC, and both of them are blaring the same thing at you, just at different angles, right?
Yeah.
And then if you sat back after watching those 4 shows and you sit back for a few minutes and you start analyzing, you'd see they're fighting about the same thing, but they're trying to go about it the wrong way.
Context clues.
You know what I mean? It's like, come on, people.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a better way of getting there with people trying to correlate with each other or, get together and do the right thing. And not for themselves, but for the country, for the good of the country.
I feel like everyone's cutthroat, especially. I mean, it's all.
It's about themselves. It's all about self-gratification. It's self-gratification.
Yep.
And that's so sad. Now, yesterday we were talking about, let's jump onto this for a few minutes. Is the federal government enabling people to go back to work how can I put this, with unemployment and the food stamps? Do you think that people in your age bracket, what do you see from people in your age bracket?
It kind of varies. It's on both sides of the spectrum. It's there's some people who are just like, well, the government's giving me more money to not work, or to quote unquote look for a job, and then there's the other ones who are like, well, I'm just going to work. Like I have no reason not to work.
Right. I mean, like, what about people, the younger people with the mask? Do they like the mask, or do they think this whole thing's a nutball theory? I mean, honestly.
Personally, I hate the mask because I'm outside all day and it's hot. You sweat into it, and once it gets wet, it gets hard to breathe. But people complain about it, but it's one of those things where you'll deal with it a lot of the times.
I mean, like, I work on the beach. I work on Fort Myers Beach, and I do water. We didn't wear a mask out there. There is no friggin' way I'd wear a mask. I would pass out and have a heart attack out there or a heat stroke. There is just no way. Do you wear one where you work at?
I do.
All day?
Not all day. Our code is if you're talking to a customer or if you're within 6 feet of somebody, you have to wear a mask. But if I'm in the office by myself, I'm not wearing a mask. Or if I'm doing...
but do you think that keeps a lot of the younger generation from wanting to work, or do you think it's just a work entitlement, or just give me money, free money?
I think it's just free money, because if you really want to work and you want money, you want to make something for yourself. You're not going to care. It's like wearing a uniform almost. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's part of the uniform now.
Okay, so you know what, and that's a good correlation, because I think on both sides, like Republicans are like, we don't need to spend this much money. We need to sit there and have these people going back to work. And then you have the Democratic side going, let's just give them the money and they'll figure it out down the road. But the point is that money runs out after a while. And as the money runs out and as the jobs are starting to thin out, because people are going to go automation, and what's going to happen? You're going to have a bunch of broke people that are going to get pissed off. And where's the first two places they're going to go to? They're going to go to the rich, and then they're going to go to the politicians, because the politicians are going to be like, go to them, go to them, go to them. But you got to think people's money is going to run out, or they're going to move overseas, and they're like, well, screw y'all.
Yeah.
When you fix it, when you figure out this crap, we'll come back and we'll own every one of you, peasant slaves. I mean, seriously, am I right or wrong? It's like,
oh, yeah. Well, that's the way it's going with minimum wage right now. It's going to get too expensive for employers to hire employees, and it's just going to be cheaper to get a robot that can do it without complaining.
yeah, I mean, beside their monthly service thing, the robot's going to work nonstop.
Yeah.
And they can open up 24/7, just like a lot of the Amazon places. I know they have a lot of people working for them, so I'm not even going to say that. But, I mean, McDonald's, it's like you go into McDonald's nowadays, you don't even have to talk to a cashier.
Yeah, it's all the kiosks now.
I mean, I like that. I really do. You're not sitting there paying somebody up there $15 or $10 an hour just to take your order, and then you take it back to your table and they got it wrong in the first place.
Yeah.
Because they know habla. You know what I mean? It's like, come on. And this used to be like a high school job for a lot of kids. A lot of kids used to work just so they could get their school clothes, books, and stuff like that. And they don't have to do that no more. I'm sorry, I'm going off on the tangent.
No, you're good. I mean, people have kind of found the minimum wage jobs. Some of them have found it as a career choice. Like, some people don't mind being a fry cook at McDonald's for the rest of their lives. You know what I mean? It's.
You think that they're just, I don't know, man. I mean, I could not imagine, going through high school. You know what I mean? No ambition. Okay, yeah, there you go. That's the word I was looking for. No ambition. That's sad, isn't it? Sad.
Oh yeah.
So we talked about those two things. Let's jump back to the facts or feelings. I mean, I guess people my age are getting pissed off at the younger generation because they think it's all their fault that Biden got elected. I mean, beside the news and all them bombarding you 24/7, and every like Hulu and all them, they had Biden and Kamala Harris on there all the time. Trump never was able. I never saw him on Hulu TV. I never saw him on MSNBC. I saw him on NBC once. I've seen him on CBS once. But that was it. And it makes you wonder, okay, like the Trump campaign, they raised billions and billions and billions of dollars, right?
Yeah.
Where'd that money go? See, I'm just going to say this right now. I don't know where it went to. I'm not saying Trump took it. I'm not saying, and now the Republicans are asking us for more money all the time. I get texts all the time. Rick Scott, Marco Rubio, Dan Harley Hawkins or whatever Hawkins, I can't remember his name. And they're all like, well, why aren't you answering? Why don't you just come and talk to it? And it's like, I don't want to talk to y'all. Y'all showed us that y'all have mismanaged a lot of crap, and y'all need to fix your own issues before you start asking people for money. I'm not giving you a dime. I wouldn't give you a dime right now. And to be honest with you, I still won't give to the Trump campaign right now.
But do you think all that money went towards all the free hats he's giving out?
Which one? Are we talking about Trump or are we
Trump? All the free hats that's just like, just pay shipping. Just pay shipping.
I don't know. See, I don't know. I mean, look, he's a billionaire. I understand. He wasn't making no money being the president, or maybe he was. I don't know. I don't even really care neither. That's the whole thing. If you're president, as long as you take care of the country, it doesn't really matter, right?
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, we didn't have what we're having right now, mass people coming across the border, and now, Biden's having to talk about fixing the fence a little bit. I don't hear the news agencies calling him racist or anything. Do you?
No.
I don't. But going back to facts and feeling, there it is again. Facts over or feeling over facts. Right now, if you look at the border right now, and you looked at pictures from the migrant camps or where they're sending them at, the hell's going on down there? How come the news agencies aren't jumping all over this guy for what he's done by caging these not animals? I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. these children. Please forgive me.
Treating them like animals.
And treating them like animals. Please, Lord, please forgive me. I'm sorry about that, everyone. I made a big mistake. But I guess, like I said, it's like we got to start thinking not as a collective group, but individuals. I think more individuals. There's a lot of like-minded individuals out there. You just got to find that person. And I think it's hard in today's times to do that. I mean, how many people do you hang out with in your age bracket, honestly?
Honestly, probably about 2 people.
And you're 23?
Yep.
I mean, when I was 20, 22, 23, I was hanging out with all types of people, older people, younger people, even people my age.
Yeah.
And it doesn't seem like, it just doesn't seem like it's that way anymore. And the world has changed so much.
Yeah. Well, I was hanging out with more people once I would go out and everything like that, but I've just been working so much and helping out with this podcast and everything. I've
But let me ask you this, like the bar scene, though. Think about the bar scene. I mean, you can only go out to the bar so many times.
I mean,
you know what I mean? It's like, well, no, but you're young. You don't get it yet, and you're going to get that by the time you hit your mid-30s. You're going to be like, man, I don't even want to do this no more. And then you're going to start hanging out with friends. You're going to have people over at your house. You know what I mean? Because it's cheaper. B, you have a better time because you can do what you want. And you know what I mean? And nobody's going to jail. You're not out at a bar where a bunch of friends, one friend gets all fucking crazy and starts a barroom brawl in there. And next thing you know, you're sitting there, you're trying to explain to a cop why you shouldn't go to jail. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's like, okay, I digress on that. But I don't know. I think our country's really, really hurting, and I think it's all of our faults. I think it's the people's fault. I mean, we can blame the politicians, but we let the politicians in there to do that to ourselves. Your final thoughts?
Like I said earlier, it's one of those things you got to research. You got to look at everything, make sure that they're not representing the feeling as a fact, which is what a lot of them like to do.
Well, I mean, that's news and everything else, right? All right, so, and here's my final thought. I give you a dare challenge, and everybody watch MSNBC, 20 minutes of that, 20 minutes of CNN, and then 20 minutes of Fox News, and 20 minutes of news
BBC.
BBC, and see what kind of conclusion you come to. I mean, seriously. Newsmax, Fox News, CNN, MSNBC. Watch all 4 of those, and then watch BBC. And I guarantee you're going to be like, wow, there's something wrong with the people of this country that are actually watching both of these sides, and all they're doing is they're spouting out things that they shouldn't spout. Everybody, I want to thank you for our first live edition, and I hope people listen. And if you have any ideas, please give us a call or email us on our website. That's AmericanCivilDebate.com. And I hope to see more people join us.